Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about the new augments that they implemented into the game because I didn't mention them yesterday. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. Alright, so the very first thing I want to go over are, of course, the freebies. So when you go to your systems over here, get campaign items, receive item account, you're going to notice that you do get your once a month special login gift. This is a freebie that everyone gets at the beginning of every single month. As you can see here, we get 15 days of material storage as well as 5 end color change passes. So make sure that you do pick that up. The next thing I want to talk about is, of course, today is PSO2 day. So you do get 50 star gems as well as 2 special scratch tickets. Remember, this applies to everyone. And since it is PSO2 day, I highly recommend people to farm in the Crimson Realm, simply because we do get a 50% EXP boost as well as a 100% rare drop rate boost. So this is definitely really nice, especially if you're farming for those Mars bars or those Mars updaters. As you can see here, I do have 17 Mars updaters. However, I obtained 10 of them by running triggers and urgent quests and stuff like that. So technically I only got 7 of them while running the Crimson Realm, but that was within an hour. So I was basically getting one every 10 minutes, a little bit less than that, which was actually pretty good. However, the main topic that I want to talk about in today's video is, of course, the new augments themselves. So you may have noticed that Stat 5 was very sneakily just added into the game. They didn't make any announcement of anything about it. They're just like, oh yeah, now it's available in the game. So for my friends who are wondering how did I manage to get so many of these Stat 5s, it's actually just farming in the Crimson Realm. You don't technically have to farm in the Crimson Realm. It's just level 90 combat zones. So technically you can also still go to rank 6 of Vanford Laboratories or rank 5 of Reservoir Force and still get stat 5s to drop from these 2 areas, even though it's not Crimson Realm. So that's how you obtain all of these new augments over here. Now personally, I just farm in the Crimson Realm because I enjoy killing Driveris and all the different starless mobs and stuff like that. So personally, I just like farming there. However, again, you don't have to farm there in order to get these new capsules. Now the main thing that I want to point out are going to be the Duel 5s over here, because you actually need these in order to craft your Grand Dreadkeeper 2. So when we head over to the item lab, we go to exchange enhancement materials, augment capsules right here. You're going to see at the very top Grand Dreadkeeper 2. Now the stats of Grand Dreadkeeper 2 is pretty substantial, as it does give you 40 HP, 4 PP, 3.25% potency, as well as 6% potency floor increase and 1% damage resistance. So overall, it's a very balanced capsule. However, for my min-maxers out there or my glass cannons out there, you guys definitely want to skip this because the potency is relatively low compared to a lot of the other capsules. Like if you look at the Duel 5s, it's already 3.5% potency, or if you just look at the regular stat 5s such as Might 5, Precision 5, as well as Technique 5, they already give you more potency than Grand Dreadkeeper 2. So Grand Dreadkeeper 2 is really mainly made for players like myself who likes to have a buffer. You know, I like to have a lot of HP, I like to have a lot of PP. I just like to have a more well-rounded build which has a lot of buffer so that I can play really sloppy and still get away with it. So if your playstyle is similar to mine, then having Grand Dreadkeeper 2 is definitely the way to go. However, there is a downside to Grand Dreadkeeper 2, and that is, of course, the cost. It costs a lot. First of all, you need 30 of any Duel 5s, so you can use any combination. So as you can see here, you can immediately put 30 Melra Duel 5s. However, let's say that you only have 29 of the Melra Duelables. You can add in a single Meltech Duelable, and it will also count. So any combination of the 3 different Duel 5s, and as long as you have a combined total of 30, you will pass this criteria. Now, the second criteria is 10 Foundia capsules. Personally, I don't have that much of an issue with this because I have 741 of these Foundia capsules. But again, if you do need Foundia capsules, you can simply get them from the exchange shops. You can also farm for them in the Crimson Realm. It just so happens to drop these as well. So it shouldn't be too difficult to obtain these. However, the thing that will bottleneck you is going to be the Grand Dreadkeeper 1s. You need 5 Grand Dreadkeeper 1s. So if we take a quick look on what do we need to make Grand Dreadkeeper 1, you actually need 10 Dreadkeeper 5s as well as 10 Fusia capsules. So getting the Dreadkeeper 5 shouldn't be too difficult, as we do have plenty of them in the event shop that just ended. So if you haven't spent your seasonal points, do check that out. Like myself, actually, let me just do that right now. You can see that the seasonal lady is still here until maintenance, and if you scroll to near the very bottom, you're going to see there is Dreadkeeper 5 for 5,000 seasonal points each. You can buy 10 of them, and then there's another stack of 10 that costs 25,000 points each, so also make sure to pick that up. While you're here, also pick up the Golden Prim swords, by the way, because these Golden Prim swords are limit broken to level 90, so you definitely want to pick up the Golden Prim swords too, as they are really good weapon fodders for enhancing. Now, as for these Fusia capsules, unfortunately, you are going to need to farm Duel Quest. So when we open up the quest counter over here and we go to Duel Quest, you're going to notice all the way down here at Duel Quest Phase 3. You are going to need to farm Phase 3 over and over and over in order to get the Fusia capsules that you actually need in order to craft those Grand Dreadkeeper 1s. Now, luckily, the boss is only level 80, and you do get 5 every single run whenever you get an S rank, so it's not super difficult and it's not super duper time consuming. It won't take too long. It is just a little bit mind numbing, as you are running the same boss over and over and you're clearing it in like 2 to 3 minutes. So that's pretty much the only downside. However, if you haven't done any of the duel quests, I'd highly recommend that you actually complete them, because you do get 100 star gems for each of these phases. So that is a lot of star gems that you can actually obtain, especially since there's 5 phases. You can actually earn a total of 600 star gems just by completing each one once. And remember, you don't actually need an S rank, you just need to clear it. And with the recent changes where they're giving you a lot more time, I believe they give you 10 minutes, so pretty much anyone with decent gear is going to be able to clear the duel quest. You might not get the S rank to get the maximum amount of Fusia capsules, but at the very least you will definitely get the first time clear reward. So this is 600 star gems sitting right here if you haven't done so already. So now that you've picked up a bunch of your Dreadkeeper 5s as well as farmed up a bunch of your Fusia capsules, now it is actually time to craft them. So as we can see here, we're going to craft 5 of our Grand Dreadkeeper 1s, and then we're going to scroll all the way back up here for Grand Dreadkeeper 2, and then we're going to craft, I believe I can only craft 1 of them over here. Yeah, because again, I am bottlenecked by the Grand Dreadkeeper 1s because I haven't been farming a lot of the dual quest over here, but nevertheless we can craft 1 of these capsules. And the Grand Dreadkeeper 2 is still actually going for a lot of money. So when we check the market price right now, you can see it's 5 million Meseta. This is actually quite a substantial amount of money, considering that a lot of the min-maxers out there probably aren't using this because, you know, they want to go full potency glass cannon type of builds. But, you know, this is a pretty substantial amount of money, and I do recommend people, if you are hurting for cash, this might be a good method to generate a little bit of income before the Shangri-La Frontier collaboration kicks in, and then we're all gonna go broke. While we're talking about collaborations, by the way, the Eminence and Shadow collaboration is still here, and it's here to stay until August 21st. So we actually still have a substantial amount of time. We have like 3 weeks left before this goes away. So, you know, you don't need to panic yet, but I do advise people to stay on top of things right now, start generating the money, start farming all the Meseta that you actually need to buy out all the cosmetic goods that you want right now from Eminence and Shadow, and then start saving Meseta for the Shangri-La Frontier collaboration, because those items are going to go for insane amounts of money simply because they look freaking cool. Now, if looking edgy and cool isn't your cup of tea, don't forget about the Type 1 costume revival over here, by the way. You know, the mini suits are still available, the animal suits over here, they are really, really cute. However, yeah, these prices are absolutely crazy. So if you are a whale and you are planning to scratch, I do recommend scratching on this one, the Type 1 costume revival, because if you get any of the hot items, you make a lot of money. However, there is the risk of getting some, you know, mediocre items over here, of course, which aren't going to be worth as much money. But as a side note, you do get a bunch of other troll head outfits over here in case you were interested, such as the Marlin head, as well as the horse mask and stuff like that. So if you do embrace the troll inside you, then the Type 1 costume revival is definitely the banner for you. Now, if you made it this far into the video, let me know in the comment section below, what is your ideal rotation for Nidhogger in PSE bursts? For now, my ideal rotation is simply holding down Whirlwind until I'm out of photon points, and then I just hold down normal attack until I fill up my PP gauge, and then again I dump it with Whirlwind. But let me know in the comment section below, what is your ideal rotation in PSE combat zones? Not against bosses, but PSE combat zones.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel, it really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!